Modern life. Between careers, kids, and health, it can be mayhem. That's why we're here. I'm Dr. Lisa Varghese-Kroll.
And I'm Dr. Lonray Falusi. We're physicians, moms, and longtime friends who break it all down for you. Wondering how to juggle all the balls and still stay sane? Looking for advice but don't want to be overwhelmed?
Curious about how to make the most out of life for your family but enjoy it at the same time? You're in the right place. Welcome to Health and Home with the Hippocratic Hosts.
On this episode, we're bringing you our very first holiday gift guide. Ready to make your loved one's day when they tear off that wrapping paper? Want to know what life-changing, creative, or just plain fun items these Dr. Moms have loved getting or receiving? Keep listening and get your holiday shopping checked off your list. And bonus, every one of these gifts is something that we have personally enjoyed ourselves. Hey, Lise.
Hey, Lon. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you celebrate Christmas, as Lonray and I do, or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, or anything else, when the weather gets chilly in the Western Hemisphere, our thoughts don't just turn to crackling flames in the fireplace, woolen sweaters, hot drinks. They also start turning to presents. Okay, let's be real.
Let's keep it real here.
And if you're like us, it can be a struggle to come up with unique presents for our loved ones every year.
Right. Especially since we want to be mindful. We're not fans of overconsumption. We don't want to promote consumerism. And we want to make sure that the things we buy aren't wasting money or, destined for the landfill.
Right, exactly. Now, my brother Sasha, who you know well, is the world's best gift giver. I know, who doesn't love Sasha? He was born with this gift-giving talent. Okay, he will remember a remark that you made 2 years ago, or an inside joke based on an inside joke based on an inside joke, and covertly find the perfect present you never knew existed. It is truly impressive.
Amazing.
I know. I wish I had this gift. However, I was not born with this kind of intuitive gift, and I don't think most of us were. So friends, this year, we have done the work for you so you can become a Sasha.
Be like Sasha.
Right, exactly.
Buy the perfect gift.
WWSD. We're sharing our very first holiday gift guide with recommendations for all the kids, teens, and adults in your life, covering the spectrum of price points from super cheap to splurgy. Listen to this episode, go to our show notes at hippocratichosts.com, and your gift giving is done.
Woo. Easy peasy.
Exactly. And these are all things that we have personally given or received and that we wholeheartedly recommend.
Right. And we're sharing these because we truly recommend them.
Right.
So, all right, here we go with our first category, gifts for kids. First up, a changeable picture frame for their artwork. If you have young kids, you know that they come home almost every day with like the cutest picture that they finger painted in school, and maybe you just can't bring yourself to throw them away. Or if you have an older kid who loves to draw or to paint, they probably don't want to just stash their art in a folder somewhere. They might love a picture frame that they can open and easily tuck in their newest creation. Some of these changeable picture frames can hold up to 80 sheets of paper, so they can add and change things around and, change around the art on their wall at their leisure.
I love those because you also don't have to keep putting holes in the wall, like tacking these things up,
exactly.
They're so great. We also love personalized name stamps. Now, I don't know what it is about seeing their own name in ink, but kids love these. And you can have a custom stamp made with a child's name, and the sky's the limit when it comes to choosing all the things that go with it, the font, the ink color, symbols, and you will no doubt receive many notes in the future with their special stamp all over them. Ask me how I know. These are available from many online sellers, but we'll link to one Etsy seller that we've used in our show notes at hippocratichosts.com.
I love that. Next is a bubble blower. This is a huge hit at outdoor parties. especially parties where you want to keep the little ones occupied so the adults can actually have a conversation and
Oh
talk
my
to each other.
gosh, yes.
What a concept. So these handy little machines pour out oodles of bubbles that kids and pets love to catch and dance in. So we actually bought one over the summer, and it is amazing how entertaining it is for kids. Like my kids are mesmerized. When we have friends over, we just put on the bubble machine and the kids just go wild. So, and you can like start and finish a sentence, right?
Yeah,
as a grown up. So we'll link to one that we've purchased in our show notes.
Right. As you know, we have one too. And man, like adults love it just as much.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Not going to lie. Yeah.
So next up is an item close to my heart. A copy of your favorite book series from your own childhood. So because I'm Canadian, many of the books that most...
Wait. You're Canadian? Have you ever mentioned that?
Is there ever a time when I don't mention it too much? Has this been brought up before?
Not at all. Not at all. Just that I do love that you are the most patriotic Canadian I've ever met.
I think it was Mike Myers that said there is no more Canadian than the Canadian that is currently living not in Canada. It is the draw of my motherland that brings out the Canadianism.
Motherland.
But anyway, because I grew up there, many of the books that most influenced me when I was a kid were Canadian or British, and they're not widely available in the US where I currently live. But thanks to the internet, though, now we can find anything. So order the books that you most want the child in your life to experience, and bonus points if you commit to reading it to them in the new year. So for obvious reasons, we can't link to this in our show notes because it depends on your own nostalgia running wild.
Oh, yes, that's a great one. And, kind of similar in terms of like ways to spend time with your kids doing something that you all love. The next one costs you nothing. A coupon book for time with you. So this means more than anything else to children. Give them coupons that they can redeem for board games with you or outings with you, movies, baking treats with you, whatever the kid you're getting gifts for would enjoy the most. This is great because research shows that the quality of the time that we spend with our kids, especially in activities that they enjoy doing together with the family, is much more important than the quantity of the time. So if you're that parent who isn't, right, that parent who feels a little guilty for not spending enough time with your kids, you can alleviate that guilt. A coupon book ensures that you'll have fun forming those bonds with your child, even if it's not tons of time. That quality is what's important, and that's correlated to better outcomes in behavior and school success.
And it can also increase the quantity of time together as well, so it's win-win.
It's so perfect.
And then there's my favorite new baby gift. A personalized storybook from I See Me. Now, this is a company that creates real books starring your child. Their books can include all sorts of details if you choose. The child's name, their birthday, their parents' names, their birthplace, and even a photo if you like. Now, this company has books for new babies, but they also have books for lots of other occasions like Christmas, birthdays, and getting a new sibling. Just like the custom name stamp, nothing delights a kid more than seeing their name in print.
Honestly, nothing delights me more either.
Yes, totally agreed. I never outgrew it.
All right. So now on to our next category of gift recipients, teens. First up for the thirsty teenager on your list, a bubble tea kit. Have you seen how expensive bubble teas are these days? I mean, no. There's no more shelling out. Yeah, seriously. Save your wallets. No more shelling out tons of money for them. A home bubble tea kit lets the teen in your life whip up a cool drink whenever the urge strikes without needing to wait for a ride. Right? So they control everything. They control the flavors, the sugar, temperature, and they can impress everyone in the house at the same time. So check out the kit that we'll link in our show notes.
And then there's one of the biggest recent hits that my household has had, an Instax smartphone photo printer. Okay, so my teenager had more photos on her device within 6 weeks of getting her first phone than my husband had in 11 years of owning a smartphone. Literally. I am not exaggerating in any way. So the option to print out those photos and add filters and captions and frames, all the things that teens love, to those photos was a dream come true. So we'll link to this in our show notes.
Oh, that's so fun. So cute. So can I just tell my daughters to use your daughter's
Oh my gosh,
phone
deal.
photo printer?
Deal. It'll help our budgets.
All right, so next up is a personalized travel jewelry box. So if your teen travels for any reason, sports or visiting family, going on vacation, packing jewelry and chargers usually results in like a tangled mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a zippered box not only keeps items protected in transit, it prevents them from getting all knotted up with each other. And many vendors online will let you add names and fun extras like their birth month flower or different fabric colors. So we'll link to an Etsy seller that we've used in our show notes.
And then there's a personalized flag. Are you sensing a theme here? In our experience, kids and teens love anything personalized. It makes them feel like you were really thinking of them when you were choosing their gift. Now, we recommended this particular item back in our episode 16, but we like it so much we think it's worth mentioning again for the room of the teen in your life. A custom flag with their school logo, the flags of their family's nationalities, or their home province or state is totally unique and a fun thing to show off. So we'll link to an Etsy seller that we've used for this in our show notes.
Okay, and now on to adults. So do you have an adult in your life that wishes they could read more but can't find the time? Give them the gift of books this year with an Audible subscription so they can listen to audiobooks while working out or during their commute or while they're doing chores. And it means they can finally get to that bestseller that everyone's been talking about for months. So great idea to sort of increase the number of books that you end up reading or really listening to over the years. So we'll link to this in our show notes.
In that vein, do you have an adult in your life who wishes they had to spend less time doing those chores?
Oh, yeah.
No, every adult I know just wishes they could do more. If only I had more chores to do. Now, a robot vacuum could change that person's life. Imagine kicking back and never having to vacuum your home again because a cute little robot is doing it for you. Rather than linking to a specific model, we'll link to a list of the best robot vacuums on the market in our show notes. And by the way, you must name it. That's a rule. It's the law.
Have you named yours?
We have. We named ours Megan Mobot. I mean, it cracked us up. Probably no one else, but
I'm cracking up. I love it. Does the cat like ride on the
cat
robot
is
vacuum?
terrified.
Right on Megan Mobot.
Terrified, but also angry. It's like she feels these feelings simultaneously. So she glares at it, but also runs away if it comes near her. So she can't decide. She wants to intimidate it, but not if it's within 10 feet.
I mean, that makes sense. Cats always make so much sense.
Right.
Oh, that's so funny. Maybe one day she'll muster up the courage to hang out with Megan Mobot. That would be really cute.
Or we'll just get a new cat.
And so, maybe that grown up in your life who's getting a robot vacuum can spend some of that freed up time on their own self-care. That's where a facial roller comes in. There are lots of claims online about the amazing anti-aging benefits of using a facial roller, usually made of jade or rose quartz, on your face. As physicians, are we claiming that these things will make you look 18 years old again? No, we are not. But are we claiming that they will feel nice and soothing? Yes, we are. So we'll link to one in our show notes.
And you know what? Maybe that newly relaxed grown-up would like to shut out the world for a little while and catch some Z's. If so, Loop earplugs are the best earplugs I have ever tried, and I've tried many. I like that these ones come with different tip sizes, so you can experiment to see which fit your ears best. They have little finger loops that make them easy to remove. They come in different strengths, depending on how much noise reduction you want, and they come in fun colors. So we'll link to these in our show notes.
And maybe you're shopping for an adult who'd like the relaxation of growing green things while also cutting back on their grocery bill. An indoor herb garden may be just the ticket. So the one that we're linking to in our show notes is fun because it comes with 10 different herbs along with all the equipment that you need to help them thrive, including adorable handwritten pot signs. And this is great because like for me, I am whatever the opposite of a green thumb
Me
is.
too. You and I both.
Right? But like doing it indoors and, having like all the instructions that you need will make it so much easier.
Totally. And similarly, if someone you know loves hanging herbs and other plants but doesn't have all the time in the world to meticulously monitor and water their plants, they'll love self-watering planters. Depending on the types of plants that you put into the planter, you may only have to water it once or twice a month, especially in not so hot months. They're great for porches and decks, and there are indoor versions as well. And of course, we'll link to this also in our show notes.
And do you have a loved one who loves to travel? Consider an anti-theft bag. We love these for men and women because it's great to be able to throw your essentials in a day pack and head out for the day feeling secure. The best such bags have these metal reinforcements so that they're slash proof, as well as locking zippers so that deters pickpockets. I actually bought one a few months ago before a trip, and I felt like I was walking around with a slash proof safe that happened to be lightweight and super cute. So especially when you're like just, on vacation and don't want to have to worry about like your passport and your phone and all the things and you feel like so secure. I thought it was really great.
Absolutely.
So we'll link to a brand that has lots of options in our show notes.
Totally agree. And you certainly don't want to be lugging around your suitcase, so
Right.
it's like so freeing.
Right.
Now, is that traveler on your list headed somewhere warm? Honestly, even if they aren't, we all need a great everyday sunscreen, and Supergoop's Unseen Sunscreen tops my list. I have the kind of skin that breaks out if you look at it funny, okay? But Unseen Sunscreen is a fantastic exception. It goes on clear without a white cast, which is huge. It's anti-comedogenic, and it's perfect as your everyday sunscreen to wear under makeup or by itself. We did a whole episode on skin health, episode 30, and with an SPF of 40, this sunscreen is a great option. At the time of this recording, it has a low score from the Environmental Working Group for Toxins, which is another major plus. Check our show notes for a link.
And when it comes to traveling, don't you think, Lise, that these airline carry-on sizes seem to be getting smaller and smaller?
Oh my gosh, totally. Next, they're just going to allow us to get on with a thimble and a smile.
Right, exactly. And even the thimble. Can you weigh that, please? It's over 2 grams. I'm sorry. You can't get on the plane with that. Right. So, that's why every traveler needs an e-reader. An e-reader can hold an average of 6,000 books and weighs mere ounces. So not only does it take a load off your suitcase and your back, if you want a new book, you just upload a new one from your beach chair rather than going out and looking for a bookstore. So the Kindle is our favorite brand because, since it's from the behemoth that is Amazon, it's the most widely compatible with libraries and booksellers. Kindles come in many different versions, some with web browsers, some with water resistance, some with a stylus for writing, and at many different price points depending on how much memory you want. But even the smallest Kindle can hold many more books than you could ever physically carry. And we love that you can borrow library books with it too. So we'll link to that in our show notes.
And you can impress that traveling loved one with packing cubes. We raved about these in episode 54, and they're worth another mention. Packing cubes are zippered bags that compress down, which saves a ton of space in your luggage and keeps you organized throughout your trip. And it saves the embarrassment of your underwear falling out of your suitcase at the airport while you're trying to get the weight below the limit. Not that that has happened to either of us.
Yeah, no, never. And that traveler in your life might love a pushpin travel map. So we bought one recently, and it's so fun to put a push pin in the places we've visited. They come in all sizes and types, from the smaller corkboard maps to larger ones if you want to splurge for that loved one. There are world maps or maps for just one country. And some have these like tiny cute flags on the push pins, like the country flags. Or the pins might be colors that you choose. So we'll link to a list of options in our show notes.
Now, if your loved ones like eating, and who doesn't, every single person on your list will be able to find something that tempts them at goldbelly.com. A gift card to Goldbelly allows the recipient to order gourmet food from restaurants and bakeries around the continent. Have a craving for Chicago deep dish pizza, treats from Georgetown Bakery in DC, authentic bagels and lox from New York? Whatever you have in mind, they have it. A Goldbelly gift card gives 2 gifts. First, the fun of surfing the site and choosing from all the goodies, and second, the fun of devouring them. So check our show notes for their site.
And here's another recommendation for a foodie. Our family has fallen into the craze of spicy, crunchy garlic sauce, or you might see it as garlic chili crisp, right?
Yes.
So if your loved one enjoys spicy foods, this is the best. You can put it on pretty much anything: fish, vegetables, meat, noodles, tofu. I read somewhere about putting it on ice cream. I don't know if I would do that.
Wow.
But it might be worth a try. It just adds so much flavor. So we love the Kari Kari brand, which comes with peanuts in the sauce, but you can also find them nut-free. So we'll link to that one and a few other options in our show notes.
Oh my gosh, I love chili crisp. It might be stealing the spot from my beloved mango pickle. Now, are you looking for a stocking stuffer that's actually useful? Gal Pal deodorant remover sponges are the rare little gift that can be lifesavers for years to come. These are a set of sponges that you can use to erase deodorant streaks from clothing. I can't tell you how many times these have saved me as I noticed a mark on my way out the door with no time for laundry. So we'll link to these in our show notes.
Or maybe you're shopping for a jewelry collector. If so, personalized jewelry is always a huge hit. Pieces with engraved names or specific birthstones, meaningful symbols. For example, a pendant with the birthstones of all a person's children or grandchildren is incredibly thoughtful and will totally be treasured. So there are many online sites that make these, but we've been pleased with purchases from the Vintage Pearl. You know the drill. Check out our show notes for the link.
And if you have anyone on your list with the slightest sense of humor, you must run, not walk, to check out The Candles by J.D. and Kate Industries. They are the authors of Hottest Heads of State, one of our favorite books, which we recommended way back in episode 5, and they decided to branch out from book writing to candle making, resulting in some of the funniest and most off-the-wall candles you'll ever encounter. You'll really need to go look at their site to see what we mean, but they have candles commemorating everything ranging from, among many other random things, major events in history, classic works of literature, and politicians. For example, since we were talking about Canada, Canada's own Justin Trudeau, whose candle they claim makes a great gift for anyone who is attracted to men or Canadians or both. And that's a Venn diagram that includes every single person you know. Lon, you know that's true.
It is. And you know what? That candle smells great.
I have gifted it to you.
Yes.
So as
highly
you
recommend.
Right, you can see that we feel personally connected to every item we have recommended.
Yes.
So see, that wraps up our gift guide. See what I did there? Mom jokes are us. I'll be here all week.
So clever.
And now it's time for our Physician Mom Hack of the Week.
So this one is useful for this time of year when the weather is getting colder. If you have outdoor plants, consider planting them in pots in the ground. So you dig the hole, place the pot with the plant in the hole, and cover the whole thing back up with dirt. So this is useful when you need to replace single plants, either because they died, because again, you may be the opposite of a green thumb like I am, or because maybe you want something that's more seasonal. It's useful to contain plants like mint also that can overtake an entire garden. And it's useful when you want to bring plants inside for the winter. So save those plants and enjoy them for much longer.
So that's our show for today. Thank you as always for listening and for all your support. We'd love to hear from you. Did you try any of our gift suggestions and were they a hit? Let us know on social media. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and other major social media platforms, and subscribe and review us in Apple Podcasts because reviewing helps other people like you find the show. And if you'd like to support us with a monthly donation, just go to our website at hippocratichosts.com and click on the Become a Friend of the Show button. We'll be forever grateful. Thanks, everyone, and talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Health at Home with the Hippocratic Hosts. Remember that all views expressed here are our own, not our employers, and all content is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as medical advice, nor the establishment of a doctor-patient relationship. Always consult your own physician or healthcare team for any medical issues.
If you enjoyed this episode, please rate us, subscribe, and tell a friend. And check out our website at www.hippocratichosts.com for show notes on this and all our episodes. Can't wait to chat with you next time.